I know that there's probably an easier way to do this. I know that the fact of the matter is, I should be basically fixated on nothing more than just figuring out the right way to do it where I'm just streaming on one and not both. Whatever the case is. Whatever the case is. But right now, if I'm streaming, I'd rather get some traction based on the fact I'd rather use this to get some traction on YouTube or continue to get some traction on YouTube as well. So, fact of the matter is, fact of the matter is, I can at least gain something from it, even if I'm setting the foundation for myself on Kick. Because reality is, if this site or that site is the right way to go, I'd rather not play. I'd rather not go on Rest Stream or this or that. It's not. It's not for me. It's much more convenient doing it through Streamlabs, and I'd rather do it the way I'm comfortable doing it because it's the right way to do it. If I'm doing it any other way, then it's the wrong way to go. Why am I back here? Why did I come back? But I do know that doing it this way is putting unnecessary stress on my computer. And if there's anything that I care more about, most things, I care a lot about my computer. Obviously, because it's how I stream. How that guy walked past me, I have no idea. But we actually gotta move on to the next world. I don't know why I'm back here. It's 5 levels, all that good stuff. I think maybe I should talk to some people who know, some people that know Kick and how to stream on Kick. It's just the fact that if it means choosing between, or, going to customer support from Streamlabs, but I know they're hit or miss, but that's beside the point. As I walk off the pier. Welcome to Peacekeepers Run.
Welcome to Peacekeepers. Look how our treasure is.
But I'm also more comfortable keeping it on just having Streamlabs open. But this is also kind of rising the evidence of what I thought as far as, the extra emphasis being a bit of the reason why. I remember how much fun I had the last time I went through this. The obvious turn of events are, well, is it really necessary, or should you be going, oh, that's so satisfying. Is it really necessary, or should you be going for, like, why even bother? When was the last time you did this? I would say 3 or 4 months ago, maybe? Don't you moon me. I gotta get you out of the way, otherwise you're gonna hit me. Ice cavern. Is the invisible wall still here? No, the invisible wall's still there. I would love somebody to tell him, but at the same time, I would love for them to tell him if and only if it means more games like this, like Crash and Spyro and, you know, Tony Hawk and all those games that they made remasters of. Because, well, mainly, I mean, these are the good games that should be made remasters of, because, you know, are they not the games that everybody was buying and everybody was loving when they made remasters of it, or just me? I mean, I don't think it was just me. See, the benefit is the benefit, the improvement, I should say, the improvement from this game to Spyro 2 is the hover mode, where you can hit triangle at the end of your jump and 3 for 1. Oh, fuck. If you hear it in the background, that's from the church. I live up the block from a church. I really don't remember the difference between active mode and passive mode, but oh, son of a... You know, part of the reason why I stream is because it gives me the opportunity to vent. You know, it gives me the opportunity to just open up and be like, you know, what's really going on? And, you know, the reality of the situation is... Oh, you son of a bitch. The reality of this situation is...
Well done, Spyro. Keep up the good work, and I know you'll fulfill your destiny.
Destiny? I just want to kick some.
Just toast those enemies and collect the treasure.
I mean, if that guy told... Whatever that guy told me to do, I'd do it. Guy's fucking intimidating. Sorry. Keep Spyro in shape. Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is... You know, I just really... Oh. First time, and we're in. You don't know how many times I had to do that thing the last time. You don't know. You genuinely don't know how many times I had to do that the last time. Partially because you weren't here, but... Now, you know what I missed? Over in the corner. Probably. This is probably 200 gems, no? Yeah. Seriously? We missed one gem? Dr. Shemp is the boss in this level. I see something up here that we need to get. You. 100% completed. Well, I know there's a dry canyon. I know there's one up here, so I figured I'd go to that one. But I mean, this answers my question as far as that. So I think with the sanctity of my computer in mind, I would have to, or I would be benefited. I'd benefit from. I would benefit from not continuing to do this and figuring out a safer way and a more constructive way to do this for my PC as opposed to multi-streaming, because apparently it puts the stress. It puts stress on my PC. Which, I mean, it's justified. I'm using double the bandwidth that I would use if I was streaming on one piece. I mean, one instead of two. You know, so so satisfying. But I mean, what do you expect? As I run into a brick. Die, you son of a gun. I got him that time. I really did well that time. Kona. Or Conan.
Thank you for releasing me, Spyro.
You know, the reality is, I don't embrace things that fear me, or that I fear. If anything, it's the opposite. I avoid things that I fear because, well, I fear them. So, you know, and people can say, oh, well, there isn't anything I fear, or, you know, shit like that, and it's like, yeah, bull. You can sit here and say that there's nothing that you fear, but the fact of the matter is there's something that everybody fears, and the fact is those fears are usually realized when we least expect it. And, you know, it's just something, honestly, that I know we gotta deal with, but it's just easier to not. You know, and I know, honestly, it's, you know, horrible to say that there's shit that I could do that I don't do because I'm afraid to do, and some of that shit is just simply branching out of my comfort zone. Because, I mean, it's not, oh, something's good enough, so let's just leave good enough alone. It's also, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, any and all. Well, I gotta come back here anyway, so I can just leave the. Kind of want to get that, but because an extra life is always beneficial. I 100% believe that I have the mindset to be somebody in a position of power in a retail sense because I'm aware of what makes sense and what doesn't. You know, or at least I think from a perspective of what makes sense and what doesn't because of where my knowledge is at, and my knowledge is at, you know, professional wrestling. And you know, you could say, oh, what does professional wrestling have to do with X, Y, and Z? It's like, I mean, honestly, a lot, actually, because it's just the logic of the best wrestling is booked logically. The best wrestling is booked where everything makes sense. And everything happens for a reason. Not where, oh, well, you know, this happened and we're just going to bridge this with that and this and that. No, everything happens for a reason.
Canyon rewards good.
That is the
You are
ideal way to go with professional wrestling, and it always will be, in my opinion, the ideal way to go. Logic and continuity are the right things to do with professional wrestling. It is everything to do with professional wrestling is continuity. You know, continuity counts for something. Even if the people that think the continuity, think continuity, think that, oh, we can bridge the gap. Nobody's going to notice. No, everybody's going to notice.
incredible glide, Spyro.
Because you want people to notice, because that means they're paying attention and they're invested and they care.
Those birds might
It's not that they're being petty or, you know,
flame royal.
it's not that they're being petty or, crossed. It's this, that, and the other thing. And now I actually understand something. It's the reason why when I was trying to put it together and piece it together where I would just stream on Kick, the reason why I wasn't seeing the chat is because Kick is not fully integrated with Streamlabs yet. And that's why you gotta do the browser source, because it makes it fully integrated, and they wanted you to change the layout so it would allow you to do fully integrated. I understand. I understand now. I understand now. I do. But I do have the multi-stream open. I may cut it a little short and try and integrate it a little bit more, but I mean, Kick is getting it just as much as YouTube's getting it, and it's allowing me to double benefit. I'm just hoping it doesn't hurt my computer. It's not running as, honestly, it's not running as bad as it was the first time around. I mean, it was actually, no, it was borderline doing it with no stream, but, crap. My point is, son of a bitch. It's the stupid freaking camera. My point is, well, I don't want to, like, I see what my manager has to deal with. I see what everybody has to deal with when it comes to just being in a position of, just being in a position of, like, power and the bullshit that they have to deal with. It makes me question how it's worth it. It makes me question what's the point of being in a position of power if you have to deal with all that nonsense and other people's stupidity and other people's incompetence and other people not doing the job the way that they're supposed to do it, and that if they aren't doing the job the way they're supposed to do it, they shouldn't be employed in the first place. Especially if they're not willing to be trained the right way how to do it. Actually, that is the way I'm supposed to go. We almost got everything without even me noticing. This actually should be the last of it. That sucks. What sucks is I gotta go circle around the entire freaking level again to get back to where I was at. But you know, I mean, I know if you're not the one that stands there and says, no, don't do it like this, do it like that, and somebody actually listens to you and is receptive to you, there's no better feeling. But the fact of the matter is it worth the work? Is it worth the effort? You know? For that one person that might sit there and tell you, you know, you're right. It is better like that. How the hell did you get me? You know, but I mean, it's just like the desire to. I've seen it with even people that aren't higher ups. I've seen it with just people having the desire to throw their hands up because nobody works. Or they feel like nobody's working. You know, and it's just like, how do you not reach your breaking point? How do you not reach the point where it's just not worth it? You know, and it's just like, you know, the reality of the situation is I've never worked full time. I've never worked full time, and you know, I know that one quote from a coworker that's really hit home is, you know, it's never too late to have a new experience. You know, I understand that, and I see that, but I just don't know that I agree. You know, and it's just like, I mean, I know copping out, you know, putting a ceiling for yourself is, you know, some people say it's stupid, but just seeing the opportunity out there that working double the hours gives me double the pay to a degree. Yeah, fuck you. It's just, I mean, honestly, it's just a thought I never really thought about because it's just something that never really never really came around. You know, and it might be because of, you know, X, Y, and Z, but the fact of the matter is, I just place more value on what I can control rather than what I can't. Because, you know, the honest answer is I hate what I can't control. I can't stand it. You know, I can't stand what I can't control. You know, and I know that that's just part of it. But, you know, it's easier said than done. And, you know, I mean, it's not, oh, I can't handle it or this or that. It's just the fact that I gave 3 years. I gave 3 years to a job, and in the end, I was treated like crap by them. And you know that it you give it your all, you do everything by the book, and you expect everybody else to do everything by the book too, and it doesn't happen. You know, it just doesn't happen. Everybody doesn't do everything by the book and how it's supposed to be done. And it makes you wonder why you're doing things by the book. If it makes you go, you know, like,
How's a
why?
dragon supposed to flame metal armor anyway?
Remember,
Why?
Spyro, flame won't work on metal, but charging with your horns,
It doesn't make
that can
sense.
do the trick.
It doesn't. It's something that I don't understand as I almost run headfirst off a cliff, and it's something I never will understand. You know, it's something I never will understand, because fact of the matter is, I don't agree with it. If a rule, the only way a rule can be a rule is if the rule is followed by everybody, not followed by those who find it convenient. A rule is a rule because it's followed by all, not just by some or those who are lower down on the totem pole and have to follow said rule. You know, and yeah, fine, some rules are inconvenient, but they're rules, so they have to be followed. Otherwise, they're not rules. They're suggestions. You know, one of the reasons why I want to get in a position of top brass is because, fact of the matter is, working in retail, I'm sick and damn tired of being told that, oh, a piece of paper dictates how we set up the sales floor. You can say a piece of paper dictates how you set up the end caps and how you set up the displays, but what sells should dictate how you set up the sales floor, not a piece of paper.
Hey,
And that's a fact.
side of that river?
Why don't you glide there and find out?
You know, and people can say, "Oh, that's not how it works out." I mean, that's not how it, you know, that's not how things work, or, you know, that's not the way things are. The only reason why you listen to the piece of paper is because that's what corporate wants. But if you know when corporate's coming for a visit, or if you go to corporate and say, "This would look, you know, we have more of this. Can we change the display?" and you ask, I don't see that corporate says no. Because if it's something that makes sense, corporate's not stupid, and it would make them look good selling more and selling less. Or having to collect dust in the back room and having to put it on clearance. You know? But doing it in my position, I can't go anywhere with it because nobody listens to me. No, I'm just told, fix it, put it back to the way it was, because that's not the way it's supposed to be.
Highest point in Clifftown.
Well,
Get to
it should
almost
be.
anywhere from here.
You can make better use of bins, you can make better use of this, you can make better use of that. You know, better use of a lot of things, because the fact of the matter is, if you're not making best use of the sales floor, then you're not doing your job. Because as a retail associate, you're supposed to be making the best use possible of the sales floor that we have at our disposal. And if you ain't, then what good are you as a salesperson? What good are you as a retail associate? But it's also how you're taught. And that's one thing that I had to accept. It's not the people, it's the managers. And that's why I want to become one. So I do have a goal. It just took a little bit of venting to get there. You know, and the fear of just... Oh. The fear of invisible walls. And... Did I miss one? I mean, that's the worst feeling. No. What do I always say? You gotta check the starting zone. Because if you check the starting zone, then you'll get them as you go. Me, I didn't even bother checking the starting point. A little bit of sputtering. I mean, it is possible that the next one I do, maybe I go the route of just streaming in one place rather than several. But that's just my opinion. We are going to go through it. I do kind of like the fact that Spyro 2 has it where it goes through, like, as you go through... Where's the guy? There's the guy. As you go through, it crosses them off, basically. Like, it shows you, you got the orb, you got the cat, you know, you got this, you got that, from the place, and you can move on, and you know you don't have to go back there. But this, you just have to remember, okay, I did this level, I did that level, and you have to remember there's 5 levels in each. I don't know if I want to do, what's it called? The night level. Whatever the night level is here. I don't know if I want to do the night level, and also I kind of like it, again, sorry to compare it to Spyro 2, but I'm also playing Spyro 2. Not to compare it to Spyro 2, but Spyro 2, you get greeted by somebody. It, you know, it just makes that game feel more complete. You know, and yeah. I may actually go and take a breakfast. I mean, not breakfast, lunch break, because I mean a dinner break. It's not lunch. It's dinner time. I may take a dinner break because well, basically, if I can avoid having dinner at 9 o'clock, you know, at 9 o'clock at night, I usually like to avoid from having dinner at 9 o'clock at night. Oh, I got all 3 of them at once. That's awesome. That's an awesome feeling. Especially because I know that the flight level may take us a bit of time. So I think we may clear out this level, or I may, well, actually, I may just call it here, because I know it's going to take a little bit to meander around this level, because I remember that this level is a little bit of a... It's a little bit of a puzzle, I guess is the best way to put it. You know, it's a little bit of a puzzle. So I think the best way to do it would be to intrigue Spyro. I think the best way to put it would be, if it means, or maybe I'm thinking about a different level, but it is a bit of a puzzle, so I'm going to come back. I will disappear for now, and I will be back in just a little bit. I do apologize, but food comes first. Most of the time. Most of the time, food comes first, but some of the time, food comes second. I forgot about those guys because I don't have my headphones on, so I wasn't listening for the reminder from the guy, or from the dragon that I unlocked, where the dragon was going to tell me, basically, you know, gore those guys. I believe that's what it's called as a dragon.
Thank you for releasing me.
I like the simple ones, though. Because honestly, I do, you know, I do like the ones with a story and that show that they put effort into the VO of the, you know, the VO of the dragons. There's another way to get there. Oh yeah, there is another way to get there. I just don't necessarily remember right now. Sparks, you were supposed to pick that up, buddy. Boom! Boom! Bye! Yep. Sorry. Oh. Oh. Over here? Yep. Son of a gun. Go away. Sparks, come back to me, buddy. This might be all the dragons? I can't remember.
You've done well, Spyro. Some thought you weren't ready, but I knew they were wrong.
I'm ready, all right.
I'm ready, alright.
Ready for
Ready for what? Like a nasty good nork. Canal. I guess there's one more, huh? Always good to have an extra life. Ah. Oh, I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice this when I went out. I knew there would be one over here.
Bring me
I just thought he was going to be on the opposite side.
Where was I?
Yeah, all dragons found. Hmm. Over there. Let's see if I can remember without looking it up how to go. As again, I almost ran off the side of the mountain. I may actually call this halfway and keep the rest for the time being, because the fact of the matter is, it's just, it's just a little much. It's getting to be a little much with, oh fuck. Son of a, the heat. Just everything, and I think that my computer's contributing to it. So I'd rather not have it contribute to it, and you know, I know that the other level is going to take a year and a day to do, so I'd rather not have the other level take a year and a day to do. Unfortunately, also, those stupid mobs are back. Or the stupid level dwellers. I am a bit of an idiot. And the reason why I'm a bit of an idiot is because I just noticed that a shadow appears on the pedestal when he goes by, which means that if I would have just waited until I saw the pedestal, I mean the shadow, I wouldn't have fallen off the side like I did. Yay! Stomp the ground. I mean, also, it might just be that I just don't want to, I just don't want to, how do I put it? Do that level. And I know the correct answer is, oh, well, you know, you could not do that level and just not do that level and go through and do the other one. I mean, yes, that's true. I could do that. You know, argumentatively, I could do that and just go through and, you know, do the one level that I don't mind as opposed to the level that I do. But, you know, fact of the matter is, I just, I just don't want to. You know, I just don't want to. To be honest with you, I just don't want to. I mean, yes, argumentatively, we could go and try, but, well, actually, yeah, those are the last two levels. As I almost walk off the side. Well, let's go ahead and try. I mean, the other one is because I know it's going to take a little bit to, I know it's going to take a little bit to get to that, but it's just, I mean, honestly, I may, if it comes down to it, I may just not stream on Kick. What I mean is, I may just not stream on Kick until everything is fully integrated with, until everything is fully integrated with Streamlabs. Because fact of the matter is, want to be able to read my... Ah, crap. I want to be able to read my shit. And the reality of the situation is, I can't read this stuff if the stuff ain't visible for the naked eye. You know, like if I have to squint and look and see to be able to see who's writing in the chat, I'd rather wait until it's fully integrated in the chat, you know, with the chat to be able to do it, because it's not worth me stressing over. Of course, I fucking... Fuck. I remember this one. It's beatable. I've done it, but you know, the fact of the matter is, it's convoluted to say the least, because I just can't remember how. I vaguely remember how I did it now. I do vaguely remember, but I'm not gonna do it here, and I think I'm actually gonna call it the stream. This way I can take my time with the other levels and just end it here. I know I tried to keep it together with the stuff, but, you know, fact of the matter is, it's not that I'm not keeping it together, it's the fact that I'm just trying to do it a little differently. And, you know, fact of the matter is, the difference is basically just, you know, my way of... The difference is just my way of... If I'm doing, you know, if I'm playing through it again, like, I wanted to separate it chapter by chapter, level by level, but the fact of the matter is, I could still do that. It's just that I'm not going to have the level fully completed when I do that. Simple as that. You know, simple as that. And I will admit, you know, I have to do certain things before I can go that route, but the fact of the matter is, like, I have to learn more about Kick if I really want to invest in Kick. You know, but the fact of the matter is, we'll see what happens. Either way, I do appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to playing again. Maybe we'll do something else other than Spyro, and maybe I can fully integrate things a little bit more positively in the time, for the time being,